Hello everyone, in this single video I will show you how to create a paint app with PyQt5. So let us look at what we are going to build. This is what we are going to build. Let me quickly take you through the interface. I made it a very simple app. So by default the brush is selected, so you can start drawing, and you see this black thing on the canvas. I can actually maximize it. It's quite responsive also. So first things first, this is to save the image. I will not save it now, but this is the brush tool, and the number here is the brush size. So if I increase this thing now, I draw, I should see an increased size. And then I can also bring it down to a very small number, less than 5. The default is 5, so if I bring it to 1, see that the line is actually very thin. And this is our eraser. The default size is 5, so I can choose to erase. I can increase the size so that I can erase faster also. And so yes, that one is also there. And the function of the brush tool now is to bring back the brush tool and then turn off the eraser. Of course, the eraser you can see is toggled on, and because of that, whenever we click and drag, we can only erase and not draw. So I bring back my brush tool and I'm able to draw with a brush size. This one also clears the canvas. So let me draw some other things again. And you can see our current color is black. I can click on this, choose any color, and then the brush color will change accordingly. I can also click here, pick a screen color, maybe of this green, and then the brush color will change accordingly. And then you can also save the image. So I can choose to save it. Choose a different place, yes, and then I want to save it to this project so that I can show it to you here. So image, it's a JPEG, so you can see from the left side that there's no image. There's an images folder, but there's no image in the root directory. When I come back, I should see an image, and then it's exactly what I drew on my canvas. So yes, we can save images also. And that is it. So if you are excited about it, just as I am, jump into the next section where we start building this from complete scratch. Okay, so we'll be using PyQt5, so obviously the Qt designer will help us with the interface. If you don't have it installed, check the channel. There's a playlist for, I think, PyQt5 series. I explained how to set up the designer and then the PyQt5 on your computer. So let us get right into it. I'm here inside Qt designer, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and then create a new main window. Make sure it's on main window, then click on create. Okay, I think the size is just too much. Whatever. And then if you look at this side, you see all the images directory contains some images that I've gotten from the internet, and those are the things we will use in the icons that we use. So make sure, obviously this is a single video, so the link to the source code will be in the description. You can get it there, download it, and then let's create a resource file. This side, the resource browser, click on the pencil icon, click on this new icon, and then we can paste in the address. Let me paste in the address, yes. And here is where we create the resource. So let me call it paint. And then I can create a prefix here. Let's call it images. It's just the way we do it. And then here with this button, we can add files. Go into images and add everything. Okay. First things first, this place we'll call it paint. And then that's the main window. And then we will scroll down a little bit to where we see the window title. We change it to paint app or any other name you deem appropriate. The window icon too, we choose resource file, come to the images, and then the artboard will do. Okay, Now let's try and save our work so that we can actually easily keep track of it. And so here I will call it main. Yes, main.ui. So the UI extension will be added automatically. So that's why I don't type it explicitly. Now let's create some actions. The first one will be brush, capital B. Okay. The tooltip also should be brush. And then the icon, you choose resource, and then you choose this brush, paintbrush. Okay. The next one should be I think the save can go now. Tooltip is save image. And then we can choose resource images, this one. If you can add shortcuts to them if you want, but I will not do that. So the other one too, we also have erase. And then I think the tooltip should be eraser. The icon is this one. Clear. And then the tooltip is clear the canvas. Let's give it this icon of X. Which one haven't we added? You let me add this one first. Well, I think that will be all. Yep. And so you can see, right click here, add toolbar, and then let me first drag the action save onto it. Then brush, eraser, and then clear. Okay. Let me run the previous the one I've already built, because you saw that there's some other things at the top here that we have not created. Okay, so let me open it quickly and then show you how we go about it. Now in this version, there is all that we see, all the toolbars, the icons are here. But these ones we cannot add them directly in the Qt designer. This pin box and these are of course pin boxes. They are here. Spin box is up here. And then these labels, we cannot add them here directly, but we will do them in code. So that is why I did not add them. But we can see that there are some separators over there. So let's just add the separators. Before the brush, so we can right click on the brush tool and then insert separator before action brush. Insert one before action eraser. Insert one before clear. And then finally right click on the toolbar anywhere and then append separator. But you can distribute them any way that you want. I will click on the toolbar, make sure that I selected also in the object inspector, and then I want to edit some of its properties. So down here in the property inspector, I don't want it movable, so I'll check it off. If it's movable, the user can move it around. I don't want it that way. And the icon size, I want to increase it to 32 by 32. Okay. And for the whole application, also the Q main window, make sure you select it at the object inspector. And then let's come here. The font size is 8 default. I don't like it. I want it 12 should be okay. Okay. And the other thing that we have to do is bring in a frame here. Sometimes just scrolling through to look for it is difficult. It just takes a long time to find it. So I just search it frame, and then after I bring in the frame, I can let's give it a name here of canvas frame, so that we can easily reference it. That's where we will create our canvas. And then we can now click on the app or maybe on the central widget, and then any of these layouts will do because it's just only one item. So just the frame will be inside just like this, and I don't want the outer of the frame to be showing. So what I'll do is I'll come down, and then frame shape I will say no frame, and I'll set it to plain also. So this is all that we have to do here, and then let's preview and see. Okay, looks good to me. The frame will, the canvas will not create it here. We'll create it with code also. So let's get back into Python and see how we go about it. Let us now convert these ones into a Python file. So I will right click, open in terminal. Just discovered this one not long ago, but I don't like to use it, but I think it's also effective. The Python terminal. But most people get an error when they are using it. When it does happen, make sure you set Windows execution policy. You can search for it on Google. But for now, I think I should also use the Explorer. So let me open this my Explorer and then bring up the terminal also, so that it will be cool for all of us. Now, first, let's convert the UI file. So that will be PyUIC5 -x for the incoming file, and then main.ui, and then the -o flag for the outgoing file, which we will call paint.py. You can give it any name. Okay, now it will be there. So if I list the directory, so that the paint.py is also there. So now let's convert this QRC also into Python, and that'll be pyrcc5. The output file, which should be, let me see. Oh. Usually when it converts the file, this I've opened the paint.py file that we just created with the pyuic command. So that usually it tries to link to the resource file by paint and the name and then _rc. Usually I like to also name the resource file like this, so I don't just get be changing names around. So that'll be pyrcc5, not 5, and then the output file flag, and then I'll just paste what I copied .py, and then the name of the resource file that is coming, that is paint.qrc, and that will also be converted for us, so we can when I list the directory once again, see that one is also there. Okay, let's go back to Python and see. So now we don't need a terminal. By the way, I have the finished app also still running, so we'll make reference to it as and when necessary. Now, let me clear this one. So you know how I do it here on this channel. I will not run this app file directory, so I will create a file called main.py. Another one that will be called run.py. And then now inside the main, we create a class that will connect to the paint, the UI Python file. So I have some snippets that helps me. So, but you can type in exactly what you see, and then you'll be good to go. Let me try and increase the font size. Okay, so we are importing it from paint. We want to import UI paint, and then the name of the class, let's call it paint app. Okay, that one is also done. Then inside the run.py, so Qt, and then now from this main file, we import the class that we created, and then yes, we can now run this to see what we have. Okay, so this is the one that we are currently creating. The other one too is running here. Okay. I think I'm hoping it will not confuse us. It will not. And so this is it. We have to now add the other stuff also. Let me close. But let's create one more file called canvas, where we create our canvas just to keep things organized. let me open the paint.py because we're about to make some changes to it. Okay, so the changes are quite a lot, so I will not type it here to it will take some time. So I'll copy and paste it, and then I'll link it first in the description, and it will also be in the source code, so you can equally copy and paste. Okay, so please just locate where you see where the toolbar add action starts from, just before the toolbars add action, and then paste this code there. Let me give a comment here, say additions or something like that, and then I'll paste it there. Let me now take you through this self.eraser size is the spin box you see here. So you see that it's a spin box with the default value of 5, and I made the cursor hand cursor, pointing cursor. There's also one for the brush size, which is also a spin box here. And then when we scroll down, you see color label. The color label is just the current color. This text current color. You can see it over there. And then there is also a push button, which is this color here. So you set the default color, background color to be black. That is what you see here. The background color is called to RGB000. And then there is also one called the current color label, which displays the color label that we are using also there. So you find it in the description and also in the source code. Just paste it down there, and then let's scroll down to after the action brush. That is where we add the brush spin box. So self.toolbar.add widgets. Then we want to add self.brush size. This one. So I'll just copy this to speed things up, and then here after the erase also I'll paste it there. Then this one will be eraser size. Okay, and then after the action clear, we will add the color label. I'll duplicate it 2 times, and then this one will be color, not current color, and then this one will be current color label in that order. Okay, so now when we run our application, you see that we have all of them over there. Fantastic. Yes, I think we have all that we have to get here. Yes, so now let's create our canvas and then also add it to our app. It is way easy. We just have to make a few imports. So from my Qt5.QtCore, we want to import Qt, and then also from Qt5.QtGui, we want to import QImage. We also need QPainter. We also need QPen. Okay, and then the last import then from Qt5.QtWidgets, we want to import QWidgets. Okay, so that's all we need. And we call the class canvas. And it's inheriting from QWidgets. If you have watched my Qt5 beginner series, I told you that Qt5 allows us to create custom widgets. So this canvas widgets is not directly in the Qt5, but we are just subclassing the QWidget class and customizing it to be a canvas that we can actually draw on. So we can use that one to actually make a lot of things as long as we know our way around it. It's a very powerful framework. And let's also declare our init. Okay, but this place we just have to also add a parent here, and then call the super call down here. Okay, and then we pass in parent, which is the QWidget class. And then we can set mouse tracking to be true. So self.set mouse tracking, that one to be true. And then self.image to be equal to QImage that we imported at the top there. And then what is the size of the image? So self.size. And then we can pass in the image format. So QImage format and then QImage dot format. And then there's one called R. A lot of them, but I think I will use the RGB32. ARGB32. Yes, this one. And then we can also we are actually kind of creating the canvas. So let's define what the background color will be. So self.image. So the image is what will be the canvas. So self.image.fill. That is how we set the background color. So I can say Qt.white. And then we can let's because we'll be using the mouse, you have to keep track of positions and be using them to draw. So let's create a position. So initial position, or I don't know. So maybe first position or something like that. But this one, no, it cannot be first. Maybe last position. So self.last underscore POS should be equal to none for now. We will modify it as we go along. And then we have to set the pen color. I'll try my best to comment it as much as I can. So the pen color, and this one will be self.pen color, pen underscore color, which should be equal to Qt.black for now. So later we change it, so Qt.black. And then we can also set the background color. So self.background colors, background color should be equal to Qt.white. Yeah, the background color is white. And then I didn't comment that one out, so background color. And then the next thing that we have to do is to set the pen width, eraser width, and then yeah, that should do. Pen width or pen size, more understandably. So self., but I'll use pen width. So pen underscore width equal to initially let's make it a 5. Yeah, because that's what is in the finished version. And then eraser width also. So eraser self.eraser width, which should be equal to also 5 for the start. And then we need one variable to keep track. I was okay. Let me bring up the demo version. Oh, I think I closed it. Okay, but you saw that there was a way to toggle the eraser on and off. We have to keep track of that. Toggle eraser tracker or something like that. That would be self.is_eraser, and that will be false when we are starting. Okay, we have to define another one. So we have to define paint event. Please, these ones that I'm typing, they are case sensitive. You can see them over here. So make sure that you are typing exactly as I'm typing. Okay, here we don't need all this long one. We can just put events here. But for this one, you see that we were customizing it, so when I was typing when I hit the dot, it doesn't show up. But these ones, you have to type exactly the same thing. You can say painter equal to QPainter. And then you have to also pass in self here. And then painter dot draw image. There are a lot of things that we can draw, but we will choose the draw image here. And then we will pass in a lot of things here. So you can pass in XY, which you can say 0, 0 for now. And then what you are supposed to draw. So the image that you are supposed to use to do the drawing, which we have declared up there as self.image. So the position and the image that we use for the drawing, which is self.image. When that is all for the QPaint event, let's do the next one, which is the resize event. So define resize event. Once again, you can clear all of these things and put in events there. Then the new image will be also QImage. But this one we're passing the size instead of the coordinate, so self.size. And then we will also pass in the format. QImage dot format RGB32, the one that we use over there. And then new image dot fill, and we want to fill it with Qt.white, so Qt.white. And then we also need to get a painter also here, so the painter equal to QPainter, passing self. Oh no, this one not self, but you pass in the new image. And then we also draw the image again, so painter dot draw image, and what we want to draw is the 0, 0, that's the coordinates, and then self.image again. So the image we are using is always self.image. This pop-up is worrying me. Okay. And then now self.image should be now equal to the new image that we have created. So the new image. Okay, so that's all also for the resize events. We also have to now also come with the mouse press events. We'll be pressing and releasing the mouse, so you have to write methods for all of them. So mouse press events. Okay, once again, events, just events will do. Qt knows how to get that particular event in there, so that shouldn't be our worry. And if events dot button equal to dot left button, then self dot last position, the one that we declared up there, should be equal to event dot position. Oh, left. Oh, okay, I didn't put the symbol here. Okay, why is it still underlined? No, this is not a method. Okay, so this is all for the mouse press event. If you press the position, just get the last position, which was, and then add a new event position. So that is, if it's 0, 0 and it's moved by 10, just add the 10, 10 and keep the 10 as the last position rather. So I think the proper name should have been maybe current position or anything. But this one will do. Let's go. That's the mouse press event. Let's also work on the mouse move event. So define moving the mouse. We press, release, and move. So we have to catch all of them. Mouse move event. Okay, so if events dot buttons once again equal to Qt left button, Qt dot left button, and no, we are not checking now. So if event the buttons and Qt and self dot last position, then this is what we want to do. Painter go to Q painter and then self dot image, and then if self dot is eraser, this is where we are doing the check. So when we are moving the mouse, last we have a button which is a click. When we click the mouse button, this one will true because a mouse button has been clicked and it's being held. So as long as we hold on to the left button of the mouse, this event is true because there's a button that has been clicked. And we're also checking if that particular click, this one that has been clicked and active is a Qt left button. Because if you right click on the right and do that, it will not draw. But if you change this one here and then you do that, I think it should do the drawing. But usually you use the left mouse button to do that. And then you have to also know that you have some position. Initially you set it to none, so it shouldn't be none. There should be some click. Once you click, the position will change, so it should not be none. But you have to still check and make sure that it's not none that is being passed in. And then here, this is the painter, we just have to be declaring it every time we have to do these things. And then this if also, we are checking if the person has actually checked the eraser or not. So that's what all these lines mean. So if the self.eraser, then painter.setPen, then the kill pen that we imported up there, we have to give it a color. So self.background color, and then self.eraser width. And then we also have to pass in a lot of things that we can pass in here also. So okay, let me bring it down so that we'll bring it down. Self.eraser width. We can also pass in some other things that will make that's the brush tip and all that. So let's see how many we can add. So we want Qt, we want a solid line, so Qt.solid line. And then we also want a round cap, so Qt.round cap. And then we also want a round join, so Qt.round join. These are all just some things I'm just using to make it. But if you, in case you want any other one, so Qt dot, and then you can just type cap. You see, where is it? Qt dot, and then cap. When you type cap, you see all of them that comes. You have flat cap, round cap, and all the rest that are there. But I want the round cap. You can change it as you want. This solid line like this, you can give it another line, but the solid line is usually what is used. And this is it. So what this means is that if the eraser is active, then the only trick we are doing here is to use the background color, which is white, to now do the drawing. So it's all pen. It's not like an eraser. It's all pen. We are just using it. So that's why this is a custom widget that we are creating. So we are just using this. How I think it will also work. So the background color now becomes the pen color. So erase whatever has been drawn. And then if the eraser is not active, that's the else condition. This place will not really change, so let me just copy and paste. Then we are still setting pen, but this one will not be self.background color, it will be self.pen color. Remember, we set it up there to Qt black initially. And then let me see, this one will not be self.eraser width, it will be self.pen width. We have set all of them up there. And then yes, that is all. And then now outside all of them, we can say painter dot draw line. No, you're not drawing an image now. The image is the canvas, think of it like the paper that we will draw on. But now we are drawing the line. And then self dot last position. We want to get that one to the current position that the mouse will go to. So that will be event dot position. So I told that this is the last position. I don't know, that's how I gave the name last position. But initial position would have been better now, because this is the initial position of the mouse click and the last position that's to get to. So use that one, this position, and then the new position after the release, and to just draw the line. Yeah, that's the meaning of that line also. And then we have to update the last position so that in case we are continuing. So it's a continuous line, so it will draw one, another one, like that. So we have to now make the last position. We have to now make the current position where the line will end to be the new one. I don't know whether it is making sense. So self dot last position should now be equal to event dot position, so that we can just be drawing continuous lines. And it's good to update self dot update. Sweet. And now we have the mouse press, we have mouse movements. I think you have already guessed what is coming next, which is the mouse release event. Okay. But it's also quite simple. So if event dot buttons, not button, buttons, and then no, this is button, sorry, equal to Qt dot left button, left button. Then we want to set the last position to none. So self dot last position equal to none, because now we are not using it. Okay. And then now a few methods of our own. So this one will clear the canvas. Okay. So we can just say, define clear, and then we can say self dot image dot fill to self dot background color, which is white. And then we can update to self dot update. A new one to set the pen color, so set pen color. Okay. Which is to define set pen color. But this place we also need a color to do the setting. So the color also. And then we can just say self dot pen color equal to color, not minus, equal to. And then here we can also set pen width. So I think I can copy stuff here, and then I think I would have been faster even if I typed set pen width. So all of this will be now width. Okay. The next one we need. Why does it keep doing this? The next one we need is eraser width. So eraser width. Good. And then toggle eraser mode. Set eraser mode. and then we can just say is eraser. You remember the function, the variable we created up there to keep track of the eraser. So self dot is eraser equal to is eraser, this value here. Okay, so if it's false that we pass in, you should set it false. If it's true that we pass in, you should set it true. And now we can now save the image. Okay, so define save, and then self.image.save, and we have to pass in the file name, so file underscore pass. So we have to pass it here. We use them inside the application itself. So file underscore pass. Okay. And this is all for our canvas. Yes, that is all for our canvas. It should work fine now. So inside the paint.py, please look for where you see the canvas frame. As soon as you see canvas frame, you see paint.setCentral widget to the central widget. Before that, so in between those two lines, this canvas frame and then the central widget, let us create our canvas. So let us import our canvas. We have already created it. Or canvas for short. So self.canvas. We cannot put it in there straight like that. We did not set this frame here. This frame here, it's not be responsive because we have not used the layout. You can see that the layout breaker is there, so we have to create a layout first. So that will be self.canvas layout to be equal to QtWidgets. I think it's actually already been imported for us. Yes, dot. Any of them will do. Each box, VBox layout, it all do because it's just one item. And then we pass into self dot canvas frame. So we want to create the layout inside the canvas frame. And then now we can create the canvas itself. So self dot canvas should be equal to canvas, and then we pass in self. We have to fill in the parent. So from canvas import canvas, capital canvas, sure. And then after that, we can just say self dot canvas layout dot add widgets, and then self dot canvas. Okay, let me see. Oh, the old app is still running. I thought it was not running. It's still running. So let me run this one and see. If we did everything correctly, when I click and drag it to start drawing. So, voila. We did everything correctly. So now I started drawing. The canvas has actually started drawing. So that is great. That is great. That is great. So all that we have to do now is to set these actions and then make sure that they all work. That's great. So, and I hope I explained the canvas to your understanding. That's the point of all these tutorials. You don't have to just type and follow me. Yes. This one we don't need it. This paint to at least we don't even need all of them. Okay, if it's necessary, we'll come back to them. But I don't want to confuse you with so many files open. So inside this main.py, there's a few functions that we'll create. So let's create the save first. So define save, and then here we will say file and then underscore, because the one it returns two things. I think the file name and then the extension. You don't need the extension, you only need the file name. So just place it with an underscore equal to kill file dialog. Kill file. This one dot get save file name. Yes, we have to pass in self as always, and we also have to give the title, which will be save image, and then we can also give the directory, which I mostly leave it as this, so that it will remember the last place where it went to. And then we can also pass in the filter, so to be JPEG files, and then can say star.jpg. Okay, and that is it. It should do. And then here we can say if file. So if the person actually chose a file path, so if file, then we want to self.canvas, canvas.save, and then we pass in file. You remember we needed a file path to save our work, so that is what we have passed in. And then I don't think I should really comment this. Or maybe let me say this one should be save file so that it doesn't confuse you. Okay. Then save the image or the drawing. So the drawing. Okay. And then the next one that we'll do is the choose color. So okay. So define choose underscore color. Then we can say color equal to QtCore.Dialog.getColor. That will bring up the color dialog and let us choose a color. And then if color dot is valid color, we want to first check it. No, I think we have is valid. Yes, just one that is valid. Then self.canvas dot set pen color. Set pen color here to the color, and then you know that you have to change the color also there. So self.current color label dot set text. So set text, and this one we have to let's just pass it to a string to be safe. It probably will be a string, but let's just pass it to a string to be safe. To be color here dot to RGB, and then dot name. Okay, that will give us the name of the color, and that is all that we have to also do for this one. And then the next one that we will create is for the changing of the brush size. So the brush size, so define change underscore brush underscore size. You know, this one we have to get a value here, yeah, so that we can pass it in, and that will be self.canvas dot did you call it set? I think set pen width also, yeah, this one, and to value. Just the simple things that just very simple. I hope you are following easily. And then this one too should be toggle eraser, and then you can define toggle eraser, and then we can now say its eraser should be equal to self dot action erase. This action that we created, I think we did a mistake. Correct it very soon. Dot is check. We didn't implement the check in the Qt designer, but we do it very soon. Now self dot canvas dot set eraser mode to is eraser. So ideally we are supposed to like click the make it checked. So now we have to come into, I think it's called paint.py, and then search for action erase. When you see it, just come here and say self.action erase dot set checkable here and set it to true. Okay, that is all you have to come and do here also for now, so that we can keep track of the check state. That is all we have to do also for this function or this method. And then we can also change the eraser size. I think I can copy this one. Sorry, sometimes give me problem, but I think it will speed things up also. Okay, so this is the eraser size. So change eraser. Okay, and this space is should also be eraser. Yes, that is what we called it. Okay, and then the next one we need, after eraser brush size, have we done that? Yeah, we have done that. Okay, so I think we have two more to go. The clearing of the canvas. We don't need that one. We don't need that one. We need it because we have to still call the canvas's clear method. So clear the canvas, and then clear canvas, so that it will just be different from the canvas's own clear method. So self.canvas.clear. That will do the trick also for us. And then we have to, you see, after we check the eraser, if we want to uncheck it, then we have to click on the eraser again. But if we click on the pen, the erasers will also actually uncheck for us to also resume the pen and then use it for drawing. So that method, I'll call it toggle, resume drawing rather, resume drawing. And then I can now say self.canvas. Set eraser mode to false. And then also I can say self.action erase dot set checked here to false, so that it won't check it also. So that is all. These are all the functions that you also have to write in this file. So let us come up here and make our connections. Okay, so for the actions, we have self.action erase dot triggered dot connect. We are connecting it to self.toggle eraser. This one can duplicate it for the other actions also. This one will be action save. Trigger, you also want to save file. This one, yes. And then action brush. Action brush here should be resume drawing. And then there's one more action clear. So action clear should be clear canvas. Okay, and then we are now up to the buttons or the spin boxes. So now let's just see. Well, let's just see whether these things are working. Okay, so now clear. It clears the canvas. Eraser, so that now it's also erasing. Then we can click on the pen and the eraser toggle is set to false, and then we can do this thing. But let's try the save also, so that it's saving. So we can just say test You don't have to add the extension, it will do it automatically. Let me come back here and see that. You see that there's test.jpg here that has been created for us also. So all of them are working. Now let's proceed to the other ones. Because the other functions, we have to connect them to the widgets that will control them, like the eraser, width, and those ones. So self dot eraser size. So I think I have to comment this one. So eraser width. The self dot eraser size dot value change dot connect. We want to connect this just we are looking for the value change signal, and we have to make it a lambda function because we are coming to write everything here in one function. So lambda, and then it will take parameters also. Self dot change eraser size. You have to pass in the value, which we have to get from the same eraser size current value. So self dot eraser size dot value. Okay, we need the same thing for the pen size. Okay, so pen, and then this one will be pen as you have guessed. So pen, but this place we didn't call it pen. I think we called it change brush size. Just make sure that you edit it as appropriate. Do we call it even pen here? I don't think so. I think we called it self dot brush size. Yes. So brush size again dot value. So let's see whether that one also works. Now it's 5. Let me bring it to 1. So that is very thin. Bring it back to 12 and it's very large. My eraser, let me make it very small. Oh no, sorry. I think we shouldn't have allowed it to go to 0, but it's okay, it's fine. So now the eraser size has also increased. We can clear the canvas also. So now the only thing that we have to now connect is this color, then we are done. Okay. That'll be self dot current color. That's what we called it. The button there, this one, that will have the color. So self dot current color dot click, not dot close, dot click dot connect. We want to connect it to what is the name of our function? I think it's self dot choose color. Okay, so let's now see our full application in action. Let me maximize it also. We know these ones work, so I will not really bother myself with it, but I'm more interested in the color. Pick it, and then now it also goes in. Let me erase it. Clear. On toggle, which I can do by this one or also by this one. No, this thing did not change. There's a bug. I think even in the demo, it didn't change. So it's a bug. Let us fix it. So why we change the color? Where is it? Here. Should be self dot current color dot I think it should be they said set background. Dot is there a way to set the background color? So is it dot color? Let's see. You should be able to change it. Let's see if we can hack around with this one. Okay, but this one, let's convert it to an F string. And then in here, pass the color. I'm just hoping and this will work. I'm just hoping. And so let me pick this one and see. It didn't do that. I think it should, if we make it this way, I think it should also work. Color.rgb.name should also work. I think so. I didn't really factor it in the initial build. It really escaped me. Sorry, that's why I'm doing some try and error. Okay, so it has worked now. So now the current color also changes. That's great. It's good if you are doing this thing and then you didn't factor it and now it works. It's very good. It's a good feeling. So that is all for our application. I hope you really enjoyed it and understood the process and all that. But I want to ask you, if you want to also make you really customize it, I think you can come into the canvas where you see that we are, where you see that there's the round cap and co. You can make sure that there will be a dotted line functionality or something like that also. But that is all for now, and thank you very much for staying up to this time. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe because more interesting series like this will be coming your way. And please click the like button if you like the video. It really gives me motivation to do amazing stuff. And then if you have any questions or concerns, you can put them in the comment section where I'll come and address it for you. Bye for now.